absolutely blew my mind was when you look at about 85% of the chemicals that they add to the water treatment is for maintenance of the equipment. So it's to keep the pipes corrosion free. And they inserting that into your water, and you drink that stuff, and it's 85% of the chemicals are intended to like strip the rust that forms on the inside of the pipe, to break down the calcification, so it's to break down calcium, then fluoride and all these other additives. It is
That's good. It cleanses your veins.
all that
It declogs them.
all that organic matter, that organic matter that sticks on the inside of the pipe, like urine organic matter, but it doesn't matter. We'll just get rid of you also. As long as my pipes last for 100 years, I'm happy.
It cleanses the body. It cleanses the body out of organs, bones, and all sorts of stuff which you have inside. That's not good.
Yeah, I mean, distilled water is good, bro, for detoxing. That's what I would recommend.
Yeah, distilled water, it is good as a therapy, but don't use it like to drink it every day. Use it as a therapy, like 1 month, 2 months, consume it, then make a long period of break, like 6 months, don't drink, and then drink again.
It has a leaching property. So it's like same thing from high pressure to low pressure. The distilled water is an incredibly low pressure. It's got no additives or dissolved solubles. So then it strips your body of all the minerals. It does also remove toxins, but it also removes a lot of what the body needs. So like you say, it's the same thing like if you pour distilled water on a plant that's in a pot, you'll eventually leach out all the nutrients out the soil and that plant will die. Same thing with the human body. It will leach out more than it.
Yeah, but the thing is it's leaching out inorganic minerals, right? So this is how they get you. There's two types of minerals. There's organic, right, and there's inorganic.
Inorganic, anorganic. Yeah. That's what I wanted to touch this subject. Because it removes a lot of the bad minerals which you have in the body, and the body does not use them, but also doesn't flush them away because he thinks it's that mineral and he will need it, and it makes a deposit, But you're never going to use that anorganic mineral because the body is not capable of using them. So it's good to use distilled water. It's the most powerful solvent, natural solvent. Distilled water has this property: it immediately absorbs all sorts of minerals and stuff. She wants to mineralize itself.
Yeah, it wants to get stable, right? And like when you have really pure, clean water, it's dying to eat something up, right?
Yeah,
and
it's an incredible low pressure, like the vacuum of space. It's like anything wants to expand into it.
Yeah,
it's really magical, and they paint it as something completely different than what it is. Like they fill it with sugar, they make it acidic, they carbonate it. You know what I'm saying? They do all this stuff to it, but they're hiding the truth about what it's really capable of.
And sell it from a pharmacy, like in a bottle that looks like turpentine. Really make it look like it's a harmful chemical, this distilled water.
Yeah. It's bad to wash yourself.
And so you think about it, right? Like all these scientists out there, when they're using water in their experiments, they're using the purest they can get, which is distilled. On top of that, all their like cookware, right? Their quote unquote cookware is all glass. right? No plastics, none of that stuff, because they know if they use any of that stuff, it's going to leach into what they're trying to concoct. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you have people going out there buying quote unquote spring water in plastic bottles, right? And it's $1 billion industry.
That sat on the side of a truck in the sun for several days on the way to its end destination, which is exactly how you magnify the PCPs that are leached out of the plastic into the water. It's retarded.
Yeah. And see, that's the thing is like people in America, they've got sense enough to know that the tap water is bad, right? And they're just eating this bottled water up, right? Smart water, Ivana, all this stuff, Deer Spring, you know what I'm saying? Like all these big names, they're big brand names. They have pretty labels, right? They just eat it up.
Or that naive backwards.
Avian. Yeah.
Evian, well, I can say it's pretty good quality water, but still, if you analyze the bottle, not the plastic, but the shape, the writing on the labels, the symbols, they all do have a huge impact on the water. The container that you store the water in, its shape and the symbols and writing does have an impact on the quality of the water.
But just think about like the lifestyle that people had when we used glass. Like your milk was delivered in glass, you'd send the glass back and it was 100% recyclable. And then you would use the same glass repeatedly as your manufacturer. And it was like the community then cared about the nature and everything kind of worked really well. And at some point they thought, let's introduce these stupid plastics that, yes, can also be recycled, but not to the same degree, cause harmful gases. But they made this thing like there's a glass shortage for us to give every person what they want in glass. But the glass as a preservative is better. It's healthier. It's even like I see some of these people who distill their water and then decant it into a plastic tub. And I think, you moron. But I bought this at the store. But I bought this at the store and it said, no, it's good for water, so it's fine. You're like, oh my God.
Right.
But how far do you take it? And this is also something that's interesting about the time-restricted feeding, all these experiments that they do. It then matters not really what you consume in those 8 hours, whether it's high calorie, high fat, high carb, high protein. If you have this repetitive eating window, and it's a restricted window, so you don't wake up and shove food in your mouth and then continue shoving food till you shut your eyes at night, because your body never enters the fasting state. Even in the sleep, you can't enter the fast state. So if you have a window where you're most active and then you eat around that window, then they start to show that, it's one of those old equations of calories in versus calories out. As long as you're consuming those calories, then your body will produce. It's a fascinating process how your body produces what it needs from anything. Your body is the most incredible alchemist. It'll take fat today and turn it into other types of proteins, and then tomorrow it'll use carbohydrates to form those same proteins. Your body uses whatever input it feels like and manufactures the actual chemical your body needs. So all those little protein receptors and all hormone activity that goes on in the body is almost separate of the nourishment, which is why we actually don't need it as frequently as we think we do. The body manufactures what the body needs to heal the body. You just need to get out of its fucking way sometimes. You need to stop shoveling. We need to stop putting things in, let the body just deal. And they show how by fasting for so many days, especially in Russia and in the East, If you've got cancer, you need to do a 27-day fast. If you've got this kind of illness, it's a 30-day fast. And each illness type has a certain duration. And at that point, your body starts consuming those bad cells. And yes, you'll lose muscle mass and you'll lose other things as well. But effectively, your body then fights off the thing that shouldn't be in there. It identifies between self and non-self. So there's incredible power in not eating. And we've been taught that we're like a car. You've got to put, diesel in. If you put petrol in, your engine won't work. But the human body's not like that. We would be finding all kinds of things in nature.
Well, I did read about some ancient monks in Romania. And they were saying they were going into caves, very long caves, like 2 kilometer long cave. And once you enter like 100 meter in that cave, everything is silent and pitch black. There's nothing you can hear, and it's complete darkness. And they were living so isolated inside that cave. Like they were saying that the monk was going in there and he was coming like 200 years later. He was coming out of it. And he did not look like for that person past 200 years. He looked like he was like 20 years older, Yeah. But yeah, all he had in that cave was running water. Yeah. And there's not much you can do other than sleeping. Like sleeping becomes your main activity. The state of being awake is actually consuming. It's tiring.
What's up, guys?
Hello.
You guys heard about water memory?
Yes.
Dr.
I did.
Miyamoto.
Yeah, I saw that
Yeah, but
documentary.
there is also a guy named Victor Schauberger. You know this guy?
Yeah, I've seen that one too.
It's why I yell at my glass of water before I drink it. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Yeah, shout, thank you, I love you. Positive sayings, good deeds. Yeah, that's good. Whenever a man brings you water to drink, yeah, thank him. It's good behavior, not just because it's good behavior, but it also, the water itself resonates with that and becomes, from poison, it can turn to healing water. Yeah. Someone with the intent to poison you, his chances drop much, much lower. Right in that moment when you said thank you.
That's good stuff, bro. Who would have thunk it would have been by the springs of water?
Well, we can't touch the water of life, superfluid liquid helium. When you come in direct physical contact with it, the water that makes up our body breaks down into liquid oxygen. The liquid oxygen will be freezing, and the hydrogen will also be turning into liquid hydrogen. So
Yeah, if you believe any of that horse donkey, dude, I don't know what to tell you.
I'm sorry.
I said that's not the water of life, man.
What is water of life then?
I mean, it's the living water, right? The gift of God, right? Like, I mean, this
Yeah.
is what it is. But we also know that you have to
So
believe
it
to
is a
receive.
water. It is a water with supernatural powers. Yeah.
I mean, yes.
Yeah. What's the refraction index of this water?
I don't know.
You don't, because you haven't seen it. And if you were next to a lake with superfluid liquid helium, what do you think you will see?
I mean, your reflection, right?
No, you will see a valley. You will barely see the surface because it has the lowest index, refraction index. You
What
will
does this tell
barely
us?
see it. It's almost invisible. And, when you dive into this lake, no matter how deep you go, you will have a constant pressure, almost 14 psi, very much like the air that we breathe, the same kind of pressure. But when you dive into the Mariana Trench, like 10, 11 kilometers down, the pressure increases very, very much because there is a lot of water on top of you. But superfluid liquid helium does not behave like that because it flows in two opposite directions in the same time. And this is quantum effect, quantum phenomena, which is actually very logic. It's something like you have you have your light switch in your room, and your switch is both states, on and off. So in your room you have light and you don't have, you see and you don't see in the same time. This is for our physicality, it's very strange to experience, to think about this. We have never encountered such phenomena. But in this kind of fluid, yeah, it's something normal.
Yeah, it's truly magical, right? When you can grasp it.
Yeah, yeah. And if you were in the middle of this lake and you try to swim to the shore, you can paddle your hands forever. You will not move an inch through it because you are in a perfect frictionless environment. Viscosity of this liquid is zero and it's frictionless, like all the energy you put in, you're not losing it. And it doesn't, how do I say, energy doesn't get lost in it.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it's so true and so beautiful, dude. I love the way you
Yeah.
put that.
It's
100% efficient, right?
yeah.
It's self-sustaining. It's literally,
Yes.
it's unfathomable, dude.
Yes.
You have to just be there and
Perpetual.
experience it.
Yeah. but it's not an element which naturally exists in our world. I my best speculation, I say that this is the element which belongs to the heaven, which is the basic construct of the heavens, superfluid liquid helium. And we do experience it in our world. One of its state, we call it electricity. One of its states and properties, we call it magnetism, electrostatics, and also we can experience it as a gas, and yeah, we see that this gas always rises up. It's not rising, it's actually being attracted to the positive plane of existence, the heavens, the sky.
Yeah, and what's beautiful is like when you can get on that level and traverse that plane, like I think you have access to like every dimension possible. And then like you can go inside and out of them at will. You can teleport around. There's all kinds of stuff that you have access to.
Yeah, that's very. I see something like a dome fountain, But because of this dome fountain, when we look up in the sky, we actually see also what's beneath the ground. All that darkness and the wandering stars, those are not above our heads, those are beneath the ground, and they are like just a reflection, and they are, I don't know, superimposed or projected through this liquid. It behaves something like a fiber optics or sort, and lensing,
So you are basically saying that maybe the dome or the world itself is capsulated inside of the liquid helium. That's why helium also tries
Yeah,
to go up to attract it.
yeah, yeah.
That's really interesting. That's really interesting.
Mm. The way I see it is like coming from the ground at the North Pole, which is a very cold region area. But once it comes from beneath the ground as a liquid, and when it comes in contact with physical matter, the physical matter is very warm, hot, its normal state, and this liquid boils at 5 Kelvin and evaporates. It takes a gaseous state. And yeah, it will absorb all the energy it can, and will rise from that northern region. And
Basically,
when it's propagating through the atmosphere upwards through the air, is it cannot accelerate because it slows it down. There is this entropy. The air will absorb energy from supercharged helium particles, but
the interesting stuff is
actually
that
helium itself is absorbing all the environment so that it rises,
and by the way, the interesting stuff about the north coming up from the north is that when we see these auroras in sky, green, it's color green, right? And helium actually, when it burns, it creates green color. Yeah, it's so.
Yeah. And I think that's actually begins to reach velocities when it's not called a gas anymore, but they call it super highly charged particles. You know, and yeah, we have those kinds of. It takes it close to entering a plasma state. So yeah, it lights up. It shows that neon lights. Yeah.
Yeah, this could explain moon also.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's very interesting
The moon
stuff.
is also very interesting. I've seen this documentary of this guy like proposing that the moon is like a reflection of the world, but not the upside, but something like the bottom of the world. Uh, you know, and he showed like the shape of the continents pretty much match with those shapes on the moon. You know, but it's not like perfectly centered in the we are like a little bit off, yeah, on a side.
Yeah, it's very fishy when she gets stuck into things like that.
Yeah, but hey, why? I mean, he showed like distances between all sort of cities, islands, continents, and stuff, and they seem to match, Even though the North Pole of the world projected on the moon is not actually the center of the moon, even the North Pole is like off the center of the moon. So, yeah, that will be the center of the world. And it means, yeah, there is stuff beyond, but we never been there. And we have one very famous person, U.S. military Admiral Byrd, saying, "Hey guys, there is more land."
Yeah, imagine, dude.
And we're supposed to take him like a liar when this man is actually one of the most credible sources. I mean, his word is more powerful than the media and television and everything.
That's true.
Because this man was leading thousands of people, trained, instructed people, not ordinary people, soldiers, and yeah,
I agree.
yeah. I'm not saying, yeah, he was a Mason and all that, but I think he was not like fully sucked into this masonry stuff, because back in the days, there were people who belonged to the true world mentality, like they knew heliocentrism is a religion. Vast majority of people believe the earth is flat, just like the vast majority of religions were presenting it. So, yeah. Heliocentrism started like about 100 years ago with television and radio. Yeah. That's when it started propagating in the world and coming out from occultism, Yeah. But before that, heliocentrism was a occult practice. Yeah.
Have you read about the so-called Admiral Byrd's memoirs?
I've seen a little bit something in videos, mentions, but no, I haven't looked into them specifically.
Describing airplane flying, I think it was once or twice into invisible wall in Antarctica.
Yeah, that's kind of makes sense, you know. Antarctica is a very cold place, so yeah, when you imagine that, not imagine, when you assume, not assume, when you try to say that, okay, there is this superfluid liquid helium wall, yeah, it means it's very cold, it's below 5 Kelvin. So, of course, that before you get to this wall, you will start see temperature drop gradually, you know, abruptly, actually, you know. And yeah, when when I was looking at pictures from the ice wall in Antarctica, you know, those pictures, you can see the ocean a dark, deep blue color, you know. It's not like these exotic islands, turquoise color and stuff like that. It and they say it's dark blue because it's very deep, but actually it's not that deep. The waters near Antarctica. Uh, what I believe is that deep down there must be ice 12, and this is a kind of water ice which is more dense than water itself, so it sinks, it's on the bottom of the ocean, and that kind of ice gives that dark blue color to the ocean, and they don't allow us to navigate like beyond the 60th parallel, because probably that's where this ice 12 begins, you know. And if ordinary people see it, that the bottom of the ocean in that region is ice, it will raise a lot of questions, you know, and it needs to be explained, because ice 12 it does not happen at minus 80 degrees Celsius. It requires temperatures of like below the liquid nitrogen, below minus 170, you know. Yeah. And how could uh, such extreme low temperatures exist on the heliocentric model in the world? They can't. They can't naturally exist. Minus 170.
Yeah, sorry, I had a call. Yeah, interesting stuff.
Back.
Yeah, I had to research water a lot when I had a fight with government here. Basically, I own a river and a lot of it, and it's a beginning of the river. The beginning of the beginning. It starts to be river, and there was beautiful life inside in this river. Really, really cool. Under protection fish and shells and all kinds of stuff. And what they wanted to do is to cut all the trees from the coast of the river and dig the river deeper and make the river flow faster because of the farm fields. They were complaining their farms are not draining really well. And I went like really mad, and they were really clever. They just sent me an email. They never called me. And there is 2 weeks time to respond, and with signatures and stuff like that, digitally signed documents, you have to respond in 2 weeks. And in the last day, the engineer from this project just called me because he saw that I haven't replied anything. He was wondering and called me and told me about this. Then I went to my old email and found this project, and I had like 4 hours till 12 o'clock night to reply to this. I went so mad. I went fucking crazy, and I wrote them 4 times A4 letter about text. Well, how idiots they are and how they're destroying the whole system of the beginning of the lake, which going to destroy also many kilometers along the lake downside. And basically the whole project went to the hold, and it went to the high up in the government, and they contacted me and invited me into their office. And man, I had like 2 weeks to prepare, and it was sleepless 2 weeks. I picked so much information about in every molecular levels, and how magnetism is affecting, how temperatures are affecting water, and all these animals. And I was explaining.
Yeah, you had to describe the whole ecosystem and the dynamics of chemistry, everything. Yeah, physical.
Yes, I gave them
processes.
everything.
Yeah, that's crazy.
They were really like shocked, and they started to provide me all kind of options to change the project. And I told them that even if they wanted to like stop digging and totally left untouched the 2.4 kilometers of the river from my backyard to upstream, and they wanted to dig all the rest of the 11 kilometers, something like that. And I told them, do you understand that if you do the work, all this erosion, all this mud, all this shit comes to my backyard, and it destroys it anyway. So what's your solutions for digging? So then they made these huge screening ponds where they can filter all the mud into the vortex, because if you have a curve in the river stream, you dig it like ball, and then it curves inside the mud in one place. And they made all these, and they started the project. I panned them 2.4 kilometers. I was successful in that, and after that, all the beavers came to my backyard, into my forest, destroyed like 2 hectares of forest, and ate all these trees from like 100 meters from the river line itself. And I had like mud floods coming in, flooding my own backyard everywhere.
The beavers will respond immediately. They will try to shape the environment to their needs.
Yeah,
of course.
exactly. Like meter-high dams everywhere now.
Yeah.
And basically, they destroyed 11 kilometers of the stream, and now it's going to affect. I told them the biggest mistake you make is you cut the trees. Dig if you want to dig, but if you cut the trees, it's the problem because the root system itself of the trees is a really important drainage for it's ripping
hold
open
the mud.
water. And also, the leaves are really important for the life inside of the river, all the fish and everything, all these insects. And also, the leaves provide the shadow. It provides the water to be cold, stay cold. So all the immune system of this life is going to be much better and stuff like. I explained them everything, and they did it. And now. I contacted them, said, see what you did with all these beavers. And I took pictures. You flood all my backyard with mud and the sand everywhere. And and now water temperature also was this summer was bad. So 18 degrees Celsius. What the fuck? It's only certain one type of fish is going to live there. It's so stupid. It's so stupid. They are destroying everything, and that's why they were doing this project because of the EU money. You know, they had to spend EU money. That's why they took the project. So, because
what
otherwise,
country are you in?
I'm in Estonia.
Estonia. Oh, yeah, nice. You are new in the EU also, I know. I'm Romanian.
Cool. Romanian, nice.
Yeah. And I've seen this going on in my country also, you know. They don't care about nature. They make all sorts of these European projects, you know. And like huge farming, you know. They have these cow farms on one of the biggest rivers in my area, and they are polluting them, like they are dumping all the cow dump and piss, you know, straight into these rivers. And I'm telling you, one of the rivers was springing from mountains, and there is sand all over this river. So, and it's very nice when you go to this river because it has a beach with sand, you know. So you can enjoy being in the sun, you know. And there is no mud in it. The water is very clean, you know. But once they started dumping these farms, they dump all this stuff. Now you see a yellow-orange foam floating on the water everywhere. All across this river. Yeah.
And I bet the first thing what dies in that river is crayfish, right?
Yeah. It looks disgusting, you know, and I don't recommend people nowadays to go and bathe in this river, you know, despite you can see it's not clean anymore, you know.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
That's happening everywhere here. I also explained to the government that you know, you don't even have a jurisdiction that where the stream starts. How long is a little stream, and this wide is now it's river, or this is canal, whatever. They don't have any law forbidding that if you're a farmer, that if you have a drainage going to this river, this sized river, you shouldn't use any chemicals because you will destroying the existing eco life there. And that they don't have this jurisdiction and anything. So farmers do whatever they want, and they dominate the government. They lobby the government. So government is spending EU money to dig all this shit. It's foolish. It's foolish. It's suicide totally.
Yeah. But hey, you know, I was like in my youth, I went to university, chemistry, and my high school colleague friend of my father was a chemistry teacher at this university, and he founded this new section, environmental engineering, but not from a agricultural side, but from chemistry side, you know, the University of Chemistry and Environmental Engineering. And he said that, he told me in that time, and I understood it very quick, and I knew that this is a job of the future. And in the beginning, I believed in this, but once I spent 2 years in that university, I actually saw how I was learning to get money from all the industries, you know. I was getting paid to allow them to destroy, you know. And it was not about if you care about the environment. It was about giving the right to certain people to do that, you know. That's how I felt when I was learning in this university, you know. And then I said, well, this environmental engineering is bullshit, you know. I'm not gonna do this in my life. When I first heard, I thought, hey, I'm gonna fight with all these big corporations. If they are messing up with the environment, I'm gonna close them down. But actually, studying in this university is not about that, but it's about allowing only certain people and corporations which pay you so that they can destroy the environment, and they had to do it in a very hidden manner, like they are supposed to build fences, close down certain areas, and only you and them know what's actually going on there. Yeah. So I quit the university and I started hacking ATM machines because it was making good money.
That's nice one.
Yeah. I mean, as a young person, you want to make a lot of money, and this was the most profitable job I ever did in this world, and it still is. Scamming is still the best business in the world until you get caught. When you get caught, that's a different story. But when I got caught, I can tell you that the boss, like the chief police from the police or organized crime, uh, he told me, "Are you fucking crazy? You operate in my city and you don't come to me to tell me that you're the guy who stole the money from my grandmother's card, and now you have to be here in my office. Now I can't do anything for you to help you to this because the papers are done and blah blah, and yeah, he was actually mad because he wanted me to be under his wing, because he knew that I'm making tons of money, and he wanted me to make tons of money, if he can have something from that. Yeah. So I was like, what the hell? The police is the boss head mafia, in this country. Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. It is.
Yeah.
And in my industry, when I traveled a lot, I met actually many people from Romania.
Yeah.
So and Bulgaria, and it's really interesting people. Always really knowledgeable people.
They are everywhere, but to be honest, the Romanians are not what they were before. You see, 2,000 years ago, Romania was the land something like what the US is today, or what the US was like 20 years ago, is a joke in comparison to what Romania was 2,000 years ago. Everyone from the world wanted to come to this land and learn, or even get a place to live in it, because these people had some gold written solid tablets, and when someone wanted to find out, to learn something, or to find out if a story is true or not, they were going to these ancient solid gold tablets and consult with them, learn from them, and they were known as one of the today's world's greatest researcher expert in ancient golden artifacts is a German woman. She's a doctor, university teacher, and stuff like this. And she said that Romania is the only country in the world which can pride itself to having written their whole knowledge and whole history written in solid gold. No other nation in the world can pride itself with this. But this treasure has been stolen by the Roman Empire almost 2,000 years ago by the Emperor Trajan, which is, even today, he is worshipped as one of the greatest emperors that Rome had. Not even Caesar was that great, because the Roman Empire, in 700 years of conquering, they gather like 5,000 tons of gold. And when they conquered Dacia, the Romanian lands, they took out 15,000 tons of gold and more than 30,000 tons of silver. And this was a huge treasure. Like, it pulled the Roman Empire out of the poverty, out of the economical crisis. And what those people did, they invented the fiesta. They made a party which lasted 200 days. Everybody celebrated. Nobody worked anymore. All they were doing was sharing and spreading the wealth, and yeah.
Very, very interesting stories. Very interesting.
Yeah. This is the true history, and we are not being taught. Only a small portion of it we are being given in history classes and stuff. But I've seen American university teachers when they visited these art galleries, famous art galleries, when this Dacian gold was exposed, and they came and read about it and started studying it and really come across to the knowledge, what the academic knowledge about this. They said, oh my God, this actually fills the gap of many, like they were saying, the world's history version that they learned to become a university teacher had 1,000 years of dark age gap. They had no information from that period, and they search all sorts of cultures and civilizations trying to come up with explanations on and stuff, but they found no culture, no civilization who could explain, anything from like all the cultures have a gap of about 1,000 years. They can't. You go back in history and you find a point where that you can't explain how this culture popped up into existence, and and you find yourself in about 1,000 years of no information from that time, from that culture. And yeah, he said,
yeah, I totally agree with that. It's the same here in Estonian culture. We have in history only few records in the world we can find only from our history what really happened like 800 years ago. And basically we from that period of time we have been in wars, in slaves, and 800 years of wars and slavery, and half of our population killed all the time, and we're still here. But the history is really shady, man.
And actually, even that Black Plague version, which they tell us that there was a time when this disease killed so many people and stuff. It's actually tooth fairy. It's not real. It never happened. What they call Black Plague is actually when the Moors ruled Europe. The black people ruled Europe. And because these Masons, Freemasons, Illuminati, they are racist people. They hide that. They don't want to acknowledge, the supremacy of black people, And to be honest, I read some extremist writings, which they were saying that when the black people ruled Europe, those were actually great times to live in, you know. Like, they were very moral and pro-life, you know. Injustice was not happening. It was very good state of society, you know. Funny thing.
Are you familiar with Northern sagas? Edda and also all these Kalevalas and all this Lemminkäisen temple and also Helsinki being one of the North Poles long time ago.
Yeah.
With these 7 islands in Suomenlinna, they still have this hole where they had huge tree pole up there, where all the Vikings came to give their gold and their offerings into this hole. And this hole was later on, all this hoard was buried really deep inside of this spiral way down to the mountain in Finland. Actually, I have been in this place, and this place is closed. The front door is closed with this huge rock, which is like one truck size, and it's placed on top of that, entering into this mountain. And there was 4 1.5 meter thick granite stones. There they exploded these stones away to enter into the cave. And it was pretty interesting. They still haven't excavated it. It's a shady business around it. And basically all the gold should be there. And it's really interesting story this family carried, who actually owned this place, entering this mountain. This family exists in Finland. It's Swedish-Finnish family. And it's interesting story that they told that bloodlines were not relevant. The sperm lines were really relevant. It has to be sperm line because the sperm comes from the center of the body, and they had this ring lands and this structure of power with these rings around these poles, and who controlled the pole was actually the guy who controlled this ring area, and there was the main ring area in Helsinki, this in the 7 islands in Suomenlinna. And it's really interesting stories, these stories, and they actually explain a lot, like 10,000 years back, how everything was. And it's pretty interesting. And that's why white people are white, because they actually lived like 10,000 years under a ice in north, in where Lapland is, basically. And they came out after 1,000 years. First place was, I think, what was the island? It's in the Baltic Sea, this island. No, whatever.
Well, I know of this magnetic pole shift, like it's moving. And when I was reading the book of a academician, Romanian academician who studied our lands, ancient temples, and many simulacrums in my country. He traced back all the way to the Hyperboreans. But these times are like in ordinary school, they call these times the prehistoric. And they say that man was a wild animal running with a bat. He just came down from the tree. He looks like a monkey, you know. And but this academician was saying and showing golden artifacts, you know, jewelry, and even like fruit holding plates and kitchenware made of solid gold. So these people were truly aristocrats. But the true meaning of the word aristocrat means to be a bread eater, and these people are also known today as being royal families. And yeah, when you talk about royal families, yeah, you also think of silver forks, silver spoons, and gold plates, and yeah, this is what aristocracy means today for us. But it's not what it, yeah. It's not just about wealth using gold plates, bowls, and this kitchen stuff. But it's also about health. Um, it's not healthy to eat from a iron plate. But when you use gold, when you cut your food and you have two metals, silver and gold, touching each other, like a fork with a plate, gold plate, the silver is hard and will scratch very fine particles from the gold plate, and you actually get to ingest gold nanoparticles or microparticles, and um, they have a effect inside your body.
Yeah, I've heard about
Silver,
these.
yeah,
Yeah, this is the monoatomic gold.
yeah,
Yeah. I'm familiar with this stuff. Yeah.
mm,
So everybody makes this stuff, right? That's pretty cool about
yeah,
it. And then like you can become like your own alchemist with these things,
yeah,
and
yeah.
the healing and possibilities are infinite, right?
Yeah, and for example, I see nowadays there is a fashion like making these knives, stone knives, but they are made of zirconia. It's a ceramic, very hard material. But you see, when you use this kind of knife to cut food on a ceramic plate, these are two hard materials, and that cutting edge of the knife, when it comes in contact with the ceramic plate, it breaks like glass into small tiny pieces, sharp, and you ingest them. And it's going to cause internal injuries, you know, because the stomach is surrounded by a lot of muscles, and it contracts, it relaxes, and yeah, it's.
I think there's something to do with it though, like mono, right? One is talking about like these atoms of these gold that's just unexplainable, like things that levitate and hover and emanate like crazy amounts of energy. Like it's super powerful stuff.
Yeah. Well, my my belief of alchemy is alchemy is actually about is the study of uh, life, which is life is in the blood. So this means that you have to study the blood. And when you say to someone, when you ask today some man, what do you think alchemy is? They will tell you, oh, it's this magic fairy tale science, pseudoscience, which is about converting lead into gold, But actually, that's a lie. It's mocking alchemy, true alchemy. Because true alchemy, I see it as, uh, for me, blood is red because of monoatomic gold particles. That's what makes blood red. If you look at gold, colloid gold, which is nanoparticles of gold suspended in a solution, you will see that it's exact same red tint, just like the blood is. And they tell us that the iron blood chemistry, actually the blood has a iron based chemistry, because iron oxidates with oxygen. Because of this chemical reaction, the blood is able to carry oxygen into the body. But the iron oxide reaction is a very strong chemical bond. Once the iron is oxidated, you can't separate that oxygen molecule easily from the iron. You need strong acids to break that bond, which these processes do not happen in our body.
I mean, you think that, right? But then, you realize that, the nephrons of the kidneys can do the same exact thing that you're describing.
They do what?
Yeah, I mean, the body is really magical, man. You can look into all this stuff, bro. I mean, you seem like you're on the right path, man. But yeah, all this stuff can be done by the
know. Yeah, I know that the kidneys are like a very complicated factory, the size of the whole world, but it's very complex. It's many things taking place inside the kidneys. But I don't know. When the blood reaches a cell, it has to give this oxygen. It has to be in a free state so that the cell can take it and use it, absorb it. And the way I see this is the property of gold is diamagnetic and oxygen is paramagnetic. And because of these two properties of these elements, they can they don't form a chemical bond, but you see, when you dissolve sugar or salt in water, if you boil the water, yeah, you will be left with the sugar and the salt. But you have to boil it. And when it's about gold nanoparticles being like together with oxygen, they are easily separated one from another. You don't need to have temperature or anything like that. So the oxygen is pretty much in a free state. But it does conglomerates with gold nanoparticles around the gold nanoparticles because of these weak magnetic properties they have. Like the slowest breath, when you have a gold ring, there should be a lot of oxygen molecules adding to its surface. It's not going to react with the gold, but the slowest breath on it will make all that oxygen blow away, because it's in a free state. It's not a chemical bond. So yeah, there was a pharmacist student last Friday.
Yeah.
And I asked her, how can she prove that the blood hemoglobin chemical formula, ends up with 4 iron atoms, 4 Fe. And she told me that there is this new technology, newly discovered technology, which can prove this. But I mean, in all this time, we've been told that the hemoglobin contains 4 atoms of iron, and only today they can demonstrate that, which is actually some dodgy new technology, she didn't provide me exactly what it was, but I'm very curious. If she will come back, I will ask her. She said she will provide me this information.
Yeah, I mean, only one person can provide you the actual truth, right? So we all know that.
Yeah, he is above us all. Yeah, true.
I got a personal relationship with that guy. Highly recommend it.
Yeah. It's funny, studying pharmacology, pharmacy, and stuff, and you don't know. I mean, you learn to make medicine. Yeah, you study this, and when you make medicine, yeah, you have to have a good, very in-depth understanding of the chemistry of blood. You know.
Oh yeah. You gotta know, the yellow blood, right?
You gotta know what it is. Otherwise, you have no idea what you're learning. And yeah, I did search about a year ago when I had this revelation. You know, no, I think it was 2 years ago. And I've searched how how do they prove that blood has 4 iron atoms? And what I came up with, what I was shown by Google, it was 2 methods. And one of them is like when they establish if a person has anemia or not. And what they do is they take a droplet of blood sample, they put it on a glass under a microscope, and they start counting the red blood cells. And based on how many blood red cells they see, they say, they establish that you have an iron deficiency or you don't.
Yeah.
Which is so crazy because it's a bloody damn assumption. They didn't show me a scientific method like proving an experiment. Show me that blood is ferromagnetic. If it has 4 atoms of iron, it has to have a ferromagnetic property. In the presence of a strong magnetic field, it must be attracted to the magnet. But blood in the presence of a magnetic field shows a diamagnetic behavior. Blood is diamagnetic. Is easily repelled by a magnetic field, by a strong magnet. Which is, when we look at gold, we see gold is a diamagnetic element, it has this property. And couple other metals, but none of all those other metals, when you make colloidal solutions with them, they will not show blood red tint color. Only the gold shows that nanoparticles of gold, they change the way they reflect light. So, I don't know. All the iron oxide I've seen in my life it's a brown color, dark brown. I never seen it red. Yeah, we can make some sort of special dust powders with iron oxide, which we can achieve some red color, but that's a mixture with different other elements. It's not just iron oxide, pure iron oxide.
Yeah, from what I've seen, it's a combination of thousands and thousands of stuff.
Yeah.
Nobody can figure this stuff out, right? and like it's just it's unfathomable information. You know, these people just they can't pinpoint it.
Yeah. They create these color pigments, you know, for paints and stuff based on iron oxide, but to obtain red color, I know, but yeah, this is a mixture of iron oxide with different stuff, and you get this red color, like a pigment for paints. But that doesn't mean, hey, this kind of thing is actually going on in the hemoglobin, you know.
It's good stuff.
Mm-hmm. And there's so much stuff which is backing up my belief that life is actually gold based. Because, yeah, I've seen in so many religions and cultures and stuff saying that life is eternal, but we also find that these kind of sayings about gold, you know, gold is the most amazing metal, which is eternal, it lasts forever, you know. It never changes. It's not like uranium, you know. If you put a uranium rock in your closet, and you come back after 100 years, you're not gonna have the same size rock. It's gonna be a lot less, you know, because it's radioactive, it decays. So yeah, it transforms into something else, you know. But gold is not like that. Iron also, if you leave it out in the nature, is going to oxidate and it will all sink in the ground, you know. Oh.
Good morning, mic check. Anybody awake? Sealer 330, good morning. Are you there?
I'm sorry, Pfizer. I never meant to lie to you.
What's up, bro? Latter-day Saints.
Chicka
Good,
chicka.
brother.
How you doing?
Chilling, bro. Yo, did you go to the Fletober or not?
Nah, where was it at?
It was South Carolina.
Oh yeah, nah, that's so far from where I live. Nah, I didn't go to it. Yeah, was there a lot of people?
Sunday. I don't know, y'all. I'm waiting to see what's up. Like, is anybody gonna post any videos or something?
I saw a couple videos posted, but they didn't look like live stream type of where like they're flat smacking people. It was just like people drinking and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What'd you see? Whose videos?
They were showing off guns, like gun holsters and concealed weapons and shit.
Oh, like, do you know who posted the videos? Like,
no, I could find them though. It was some.
I was waiting to see somebody posting live, but there was nothing. Nobody had anything going on live.
Nah, there was nothing live. Brian Stavely posted a couple videos, I think, from what's it called? Reality. A dose of reality. Yeah, he does like the whole Mandela effect thing. You know what I'm talking
about? I know. Yeah, I'm not in like. I don't know who the name is, but I know what Mandela effect is, and I don't know. I'm not too crazy about it, to be honest. I heard people say shit about it. But what do you think about it?
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, he is originally from like 20 miles from where I live, and so he came back over. One time I watched one of his videos, and he was in Ralph's in Thousand Oaks, and I recognized the store. So I emailed him a couple times. I'm like, "What's up? When you come, let's meet up." And so like, he said he would email me, but then when he came, he posted on his thing that he was at a nightclub that was like 3 blocks from my house, but he never fucking hit me up. I was like, all right, that's cool. Other than that, I mean, I don't know. I don't really care too much about the Mandela effect thing, like one way or another. It really doesn't affect me too much, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking too, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's a really good distraction though, you know?
That's probably what it actually is, but I don't know too much about it, so I don't want to make any claims, you know, so.
Yeah. It's all cool. I mean,
I did see people get really excited about it. Like some people are really excited about it.
I know. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it is what it is, you know. I don't deny it, but it's just like, we got a lot more things to fucking trip on than that right now.
Exactly, bro. Exactly.
Yeah, man. Do they sell menthol cigarettes where you live?
Oh, I don't know that shit, dude. I don't smoke.
Oh, you don't smoke cigarettes?
I wouldn't have any idea about that, bro.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't they? Like, what do you mean?
They don't sell them over here anymore. In Ventura, California, they stopped selling them.
That's something new? Like, why?
I don't know, dude. Fucking, I have no idea.
I heard that wood burning is outlawed in Oregon. I couldn't believe that shit.
Fuck.
I didn't double check if it's true, but like, what the fuck? Like, wood burning?
I know. That's crazy. Where do you live at?
More freedom by the day. I'm in Allentown, PA, dude.
Pennsylvania?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Damn. You live by the Amish?
They're around, but I'm not. Yeah, they're not in the city. I'm in the city. I'm in the suburb of city. Yeah, so they're about an hour away.
Seriously, if I lived there, I'd probably try to go join the Amish, dude. I'm not even kidding you.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does. Do you live by Philadelphia?
45 minutes, 40 minutes.
Yeah, my brother lives there.
Oh, that's cool. Cool.
Yeah. It's a trip because my mom raised him more than she raised me, totally anti-vax, and he grew up to be the complete opposite. He's just like, he's all about that. You know what I mean?
Well, if you ever come this way, dude, definitely holler, bro. You can chill out, man.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, my brother won't even respond to me. He hasn't responded to me for like 2 years. He's embarrassed by me.
Dude,
flat earther.
Same. I mean, my brother's not like that anymore. Like we're cool right now, but it's the same, dude. I always tell people, my brother, dude, like his palm starts sweating if I mention flat Earth, bro.
Yeah.
Like he gets red in the face. Like he says word, like he'll say anything to exit the conversation, like start something else, like like you see him, like like I don't fucking know why, dude. It's crazy. Yeah.
It is, dude.
It gets people so like.
Yeah, people get so fucking crazy on that shit. It's like crack, dude. I don't know. It's like crack.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. I think some people just, they must have like that demon seed in them or something. That's all. Because me and my brother.
Yeah, dude. This is my brother, bro. Yo, yeah, I see it, bro. Something's wrong, man. Something's wrong. We grew up together, dude. Like, how is it that you gets triggered like such an obvious truth like this, dude? You know?
Yeah.
How is it that we can't even talk about it at the age of 40, dude? Like, we're both like, he's over 42 now. Like, are you for real, man?
Yeah, but at the same time, like, I don't know about your brother, but my brother will, like, fully engage with his friends in, like, fucking really crude jokes that are, like, super inappropriate and, like, just, you know what I mean? Vile shit, you know what I mean? And they think it's funny, Like, my brother...
About flat Earth?
No, like, on my brother's fucking Facebook page, he's got, like, a fucking... At his old office, there was a painting of, like, a baby, and, like, a man had ripped into the baby's gut and like pulled his guts out, and like a bunch of people had made comments and they were like joking, like, people make baby jokes, like fucking sick people, dude. You know what I mean? But Saturday Night Live type of fucking humor. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's crazy. They're okay with that kind. They're okay with that. You know what I mean? But
that's what But they'll take down flat Earth videos.
Yeah, dude. He goes to Burning Man too every year, and gets all crazy and whatever they do at Burning Man. But
I do crazy shit, dude. I used to fucking travel to those psychedelic festivals and trance parties, dude. I used to be all into that shit for like a decade, dude.
Yeah,
that's all I was doing, bro. Just from festival to festival. But I don't know, man. I never joined no cult. I never, there was a lot of pagans there. I was never part of paganism or anything.
Yeah,
I was partying, dude, but I don't know. Since day one, dude, I remember like even when I was a kid, like, was that?
Were you a flat earther when you were going to these things?
No, man.
Yeah, no.
I became. Like,
once you know the truth, dude, that's just not exciting in any way. You know what I mean?
No, definitely, dude. Like, flat Earth is a life-changing realization. Yeah.
It is, dude. If it's not, then I don't even know if somebody's could be a real flat earther.
Yeah, then you're not thinking properly. You're not understanding something right.
Something, dude.
Yeah.
I used to trip out on your guys' Discord on how crazy you guys got over like vetting out the people. But then once I started to listen for a while, I started to realize, dude, you guys, there are so many people pretending to be flat earthers for a while just so they can stir up contention and then say dumb shit like an hour later. Like, do you have a model? Do you have a model? You guys, it sucks you guys don't have a model. You're like, why would you mean fake it? You could tell right away too. Like, they're not good at faking it. It's just like they can't fake it for very long. You know what I mean?
You can't, yeah. Like they come in like, I'm flat earther too. Like, let's get together. Let's go to Antarctica. Yeah, I'm starting to collect money.
Yeah, right. Like,
so, what are you gonna prove at Antarctica, motherfucker? Well, we're gonna prove that it's flat. We're gonna prove that it's flat. We're gonna prove the government is hiding something. Man, get the fuck out of here, dude.
I know. So retarded, Oh, hey, so you've heard of MC Toon, right?
Yeah, but I don't know who. Like, I know it's some kind of a globe-tart zealot that's like anti-flat earther, but I couldn't tell you who he is.
Yeah, so I was looking through some of his videos just so I could pull up clips and make like the funny new like videos that I make and shit. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And he had this dude on his show, and it was his name was Jon Snow, and yet He's just this geeky looking tall white boy from Canada, pale as hell, but he had all those face tattoos like Tom McDonald, that rapper. How they have all those face tattoos and shit.
Anyway. I don't, but I got you. Go ahead, man.
Yeah. Like he on his eyelids, he has yo on one eyelid and low, like YOLO, which means you only live once.
Oh shit! Was he a science expert? Yeah.
Yeah. So he's on the show, and he goes all of a sudden out of the blue. He goes, "Yeah, so you guys check out my new song I just dropped. I used the Gangster Paradise instrumental background beat." I'm like, "What? This dude raps?" I mean, so I went and checked it out. I was like, I was laughing, dude. He has so many. He has like at least like 20 songs. Dude, he's horrible, bro. Not dude, yeah. But one of his songs is called Flat Earth, where he's trying to talk shit about flat earthers in the rap song. I was like, oh hell no, dude. I'm gonna murder this kid. I'm gonna throw him in a verse and just like, you know what I mean? It's crazy.
The haters, bro. The haters. I don't even pay them attention, dude. Like, I know a lot of people like to go over there, like argue with them, and like, it's like,
yeah.
I don't.
I mean, I'll go on one of their debates, but both of the times I've been on Fight the Flat Earth's channel, where he's the moderator and the debater, and then McToon, where he's the moderator and the debater, I notice these little things. They have these little programs where, like, when you're talking, they make it sound like your internet's bad. You know what I mean?
Huh.
They do like weekend shit.
They have all kinds of tactics.
Yeah. So I'll go in there and just like, they're asking me questions or whatever. I'll just be sitting there eating, and then I'll just take my like a good minute or two, and then I'll just not even answer their question. I'll just say some random shit. You know what I mean? But yeah, they both rage clipped me. They cut the feed on before the debate was over because, you know what I mean? They couldn't control me at all. Like, their whole point is to try to figure out what makes you mad and to capitalize on that, right? So this dude,
they want to trigger you emotionally.
Yeah, he's cussing me out the whole time, saying that I must have been dropped on my head as a baby, and I'm just laughing at him and fucking smoking a blunt and shit. But it's kind of fun debating him on like modern day debate where there's a moderator where like they can't say anything or cut me off when I'm talking, right? But I mean, I don't go there to I'm not a great debater, dude. I don't even think I am.
There's no debates here, dude. They literally have no arguments. If you just watch what they say, like it's all assumptions and logical fallacies and biases, and you just got to be able to spot them. There's literally no debates, dude.
Yeah, no, there's not. So basically, I go though. I must have said at least 20 times, like, whoever's listening, you know what I mean? Like, check out my rap songs and shit, trying to get, you know what I mean? Trying to get people to, that's pretty much why I went on there, to try to get more, hits from my shit, you know what I mean? But
you're gonna get a lot of haters from there too, yeah.
Oh, no, yeah, probably like 95% or even more are just haters, Yeah. So it's just like whatever. But yeah, I was tripping out how they got a couple of these little globe rappers, dude. So it's crazy. Just knocking flat
rappers.
Yeah, I call them helio rappers. So retarded, dude. I just can't, like, for the life of me, I can't picture in my mind not being a flat earther, like how I want to, when we all believe in the globe. I can't picture being like that and then like being all into the globe, like pushing the globe. Like I didn't. Dude, I didn't give two shits.
As a grown fucking person, you find out the truth, and now you're like, oh, wait a second, like, you mean I've been lied to? Now you gotta be like, no, I'm gonna keep pretending that I wasn't lied to, because my ego's too big. Nobody's gonna tell me that I've been lied to. I'm gonna fight for the globe. Like, what the fuck, dude?
It's crazy, bro. Like, if somebody would have came and told me even just a fraction of the stuff I tell people every day,
exactly,
I would have been a flat earther way sooner, bro. Way sooner, dude.
I know, dude. That's like, dude. Like, my whole life, I had these questions. Like, every fucking flight on an airplane, I'm on a window seat the whole time, looking out. Like, what am I not? Am I stupid, or am I like, what's going on here? Every time